For the vocabs, largesse. It means the act of giving away money or money that is given away. Frugal. Careful about spending money or simple and plain. Chaste. It means pure or simple and plain. Squander. To use in a foolish or wasteful way. And lastly, deference. It is a way of behaving that shows respect for someone or something.
Before we move to the story, let us first know about the background of the story, Decameron. First, Decameron was written by Giovanni Boccaccio, an Italian poet and a Renaissance humanist. The Decameron consists of 100 novellas, which is told by 10 young boys and girls. It also portrays the scene of everyday life, and it was created in order to forget the horrors of the plague that infested their country. According to the author, the allegorical roles for the girls are the four cardinal and three theological values, and for the boys, these are the tripartite division of the soul. Decameron. Philomena, the queen, believing that there was no other person she could talk to apart from herself, started narrating a story about the beauty and power of women over noble men. This story also suggests that women should choose for themselves rather than just depending on fortune. She also narrated about Coppo di Borghese Domenici, the most respected man in his place. Domenici gained his position in his place by just his skills and abilities alone rather than his noble lineage. He was also known as an eloquent speaker. He has repertoire including a tale about a Florentine which is named Federigo, the son of Messer Filippo Alberici. Federigo is his counterpart in Tuscany. He was also considered as the most respected man in his place. The Florentine lost his heart to Mona Giovanna. Because of his love to this woman, he spent his money without limits and boundaries to earn her love. But unfortunately, Mona Giovanna never noticed him.
Spending more than he could afford, Federigo lost all of his fortune and was reduced to poverty. He was only left with a tiny little farm and a falcon, having one of the finest breeds in the whole world. Federigo then went to camping, where he resided because that is the place where his farm is located. He often goes hunting with his falcon, and he never asked any financial assistance from anyone. Mona Giovanna's husband became ill, and he realized that he was about to die, so he drew his will. In his will, it was said there that his son would get all of his fortune, but if he should die without any legitimate issues, his fortunes would go to Mona. After that, Mona Giovanna's husband died, and every summer, with accordance to the custom of Florentine, they would go to their country house, and that country house happens to be close to the farm of Federigo. Mona's son became friendly with Federigo because he was fascinated with Federigo's falcon. But he didn't ask Federigo for the falcon because he knows that, or he sees that Federigo is deeply attached to the falcon. Time came that Mona's son became sick, and she always asks him for whatever he wants, just to satisfy him and to comfort him. And upon hearing this for the nth time, Mona's son asked for Federigo's falcon.
So upon hearing the request, Mona Giovanna thought about what she can do about the request of her son. She had a dilemma about what to do, if it is to grant the request of his son or if it is to just leave the falcon to Federigo because the falcon is very important to Federigo. So in the end, Mona ended up following her maternal instincts and she granted the request of her son. So Mona said to her son that he can expect the falcon tomorrow morning. So the next morning, accompanied by another woman, she visited Federico on the garden. So Mona said to Federico that in exchange for the harm she has done to Federico's account, they will have a breakfast as a token. But Federico denied that he received any harm from Mona.
Go then led her unassumingly to the garden of their house. Since nobody else is there to accompany them, he ordered the farmer's wife to do so while he set the table. Federico then realized that he had nothing to set before the lady. He roamed around the house, cursing his bad luck to find money or other valuables. Determined to entertain the lady, he then set his gaze to his precious falcon. He picked it up and decided that it was nice and plump. He decided that the falcon would be a worthy meal to the lady. Without thinking twice about it, he handed the falcon to the housekeeper and ordered it to be plucked, dressed, and roasted. He set the table and returned to the garden with high spirits and announced that the meal was ready. Mona and her company made their way towards the table and it ate the falcon without knowing what it was. They were engaged with pleasant conversation when she thought that it was time to say what she was really there about. She talked about parental love and said that he could forgive her if he knew the reason.
Mona is asking for the falcon of Federico, for her son has taken a liking to it. And if she fails to take it to her son, she may lose him, for her son has a sickness. Then Federico burst into tears, for he had prepared the falcon as a meal to Mona and her company.
Federico knew that Mona wanted the falcon in a different way. He was distressed, for he was unable to grant her request. In hearing all of this, Mona reproached him, but still she was lost in her admiration of his spirit. Because of what happened, Mona began to feel seriously concerned for her son's health. Still, she thanked Federico for what he had done and left looking all despondent and returned to her child. Because of what happened, within a few days, her son passed away. Within a period of mourning, her brothers urged her to remarry, since not only she had been left with a vast fortune, but she was still a young woman. Though she wanted to stay a widow, her brothers left her with no peace. Remembering all Federico's latest act of generosity, which is to kill a fine falcon in her honor.
That she would never marry any man except for Federico. Her brothers thought of this as ridiculous. Well aware of this, Mona said that she would rather marry a gentleman without riches than marrying riches without a gentleman. Believing that the girl was already firm with her decision, her brothers turned over their sister to Federico, and so Federico lived happily with her wife, Mona.